way you will have come across the drug crystal meth is in seeing television programs about it. You get rather a lot of television documentaries and chat shows about this subject because it's a big problem in the United States, but still isn't common here in the UK. It's starting to creep in. Use of crystal meth is starting to creep in this country. So this morning we're going to tell you what it is, how addictive it is, how dangerous it is, and just send up a warning, a distress flare about the use of crystal meth in our area because more and more people are doing it. Going to meet Clea. Clea went to boarding school in Ascot. Then she went out to work in California and she started using crystal meth like a recreational drug. And she's joining us now to tell the story. Morning, Clea.
Good morning.
Good to have you on the programme. So you went out to America.
Yes, I did.
How did you stumble across this drug, which people do use recreationally out there, but it's horrible stuff?
It is indeed. Well, basically, I went to Heathfield in Ascot. From there, I went to university on the East Coast at a place called Brown. And I then, from there, decided that my future lay in LA. So I packed my bags and went off to Hollywood, thinking I was going to sort of, live the dream, basically. And quite soon after I arrived there, I got involved with an artist who was a little bit of an older man. And, he was using crystal meth. And he dressed it up as something that enhanced your creativity, gave you, sort of adrenaline and great ideas and all those kind of, delusional things, really, about drugs that I think artists in the past have sort of used to kind of get themselves going. And I used it. And
why were you tempted?
I was tempted because I'd always been a little bit of a risk taker. It appealed to me because I was into experimentation. And at this time, I have to say, it was just before the internet sort of took off. There wasn't any information out there. It really was something, basically he sold it to me as it's cheaper than cocaine, but the buzz lasts longer.
Right.
Which I know...
Good deal on the drug front. It's like, 2 for 1 at Sainsbury's, isn't it? How did it make you feel?
I never like to say this, but the truth is it is a very intense euphoria. And that's obviously the draw, but saying that, I seriously paid for those small flashes of euphoria.
So for the highs, and it's no great secret that drugs give you highs because otherwise no one would take them and spend all their money on them. What was the price you paid, Clea?
Well, I paid a huge price. Basically, within 3 years from having tried it, I actually was forced to leave Los Angeles because I was looking at jail time for crimes like for some dealing, and I'd stolen a car. I'd been involved with check fraud. All of this had come, I had never had any involvement with the law before this. I was a so-called respectable middle-class girl.
From Ascot, of all places.
Well, that's right. My headmistress is turning in her sleep right now.
You end up being sectioned and in a mental hospital, and it caused you all sorts of health problems and all sorts.
Well, it completely, number one, it changed my personality to such an extent that I was doing crimes that were beyond my realm of imagination. I did go into treatment and get some help, but unfortunately, crystal meth is such a strong drug. It is recommended you do about 6 months, really create, adapting yourself to living without it.
Gotcha. Do you see evidence that this particular drug, which we've always avoided somehow in the UK, is now sort of starting to take hold here? Do you sense that?
Well, unfortunately, I do. And at the moment, I would say it's primarily within the gay, homosexual sort of underground clubbing scene.
Right.
And also in people who are high income. At the moment, it has like a sort of high class cachet as cocaine did about 30 years ago. And look where we are now with cocaine.
Clea, thank you for coming on and telling me your story this morning. It's good to hear your experience. I'm glad you're out the other side of it.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's Clea Myers. Now, this is Harry Shapiro from Drugscope, who's going to explain a bit more about crystal meth. Hi, Harry.
Hello.
What is it?
It's smokable amphetamine, really, to kind of cut to the chase. A bit like crack is smokable cocaine. Crystal meth is smokable amphetamine. As we just heard, it kind of revs the body up. It's a stimulant drug. It is like cocaine. It's kind of roughly in the same family.
And it's obviously very addictive.
It is. It's very addictive in the same way that cocaine, crack can be, and in fact in the same way that heroin can be. I mean, they are those three, I suppose, if you were looking for a kind of an addictive league table of illegal drugs, those three would be
top of the
right
pops,
at the
or whatever.
top.
And do you sense, as Clea does, that crystal meth is becoming more of a problem here? Are you finding more people coming to you having taken it?
The members who belong to DrugScope, some of them are beginning to report a little bit of this going on. The police have uncovered a couple of crystal meth laboratories, one in Derby and one on the Isle of Wight, and it is kind of there on the fringes. But we've got quite a, if you like, a strong stimulant market in terms of ecstasy, amphetamine, cocaine, and crack, which is probably one of the reasons why crystal meth hasn't made that much of an impact yet.
Sure.
But everyone's keeping an eye on it.
Thank you for coming on the show, Harry Shapiro from DrugScope. Do you want to react to anything you've heard this morning? You might have something to say about the ambulance service or Wexham Park Hospital and how they come out of this NHS report.